Hi, I'm Amy. This is House of Nash Eats, and today we are making white chicken chili. Okay, this white chicken chili comes together really fast and easy, but there are a few things to do for prep work just to make sure it goes smoothly. So we're gonna start out by chopping some of our vegetables. So we've got an onion, kind of a smaller onion. If you've got a really big one, just do half of it. We're gonna chop the onion. We've got a couple of jalapenos, some garlic, and some limes to chop up or juice. So we'll start with our onion. I'm just gonna cut it in half, peel it, and then dice it. Okay, so I'm going to just chop my onion by slicing into it a little bit on the diagonal all the way around. And I leave the root end intact just to hold it all together. And then I'll do one slice right down the middle, and then we'll just slice it like that for a nice even chop. And the reason you want to have your vegetables chopped evenly is so that they cook evenly. Now we're gonna move on and do our jalapenos. So some people think jalapenos are like really spicy. I don't think they're that spicy as long as you make sure to remove the seeds and the stems in the middle. So if you open it up, and you might want to use gloves if you're really sensitive to jalapenos. I've dealt with enough jalapenos that it doesn't really bother me. But you just pull out all of the membrane and the seeds, and then your chili won't be that spicy, unless you really want it spicy, in which case leave some of the seeds in it and you'll have a lot more heat. Okay, so once you've got the seeds out, then you just slice your jalapeno thinly. And you can do all of them at once, but I'll just show you a little bit real quick. And then you turn it on its side and just do a nice chop so you get a fine dice on your jalapeno, just like that. We're just gonna repeat with the rest of our jalapeno. Okay, and then we're just going to transfer our chopped jalapeno into another bowl. You can always prep your vegetables earlier in the day so that they're ready to go to make cooking easier at night, because if these are done, this soup is actually pretty fast, like a 30-minute deal. Okay, so now I've got some garlic. I have 4 garlic cloves and I'm going to mince those. If you don't have garlic cloves on hand, you could definitely use garlic powder to replace them, but I like using fresh garlic when it's available. So then we've got a lime that we need to juice for its juice. So I'm just going to juice my lime. You might want to have a couple of extra limes on hand if you like a lot of lime flavor, or you can serve them as a garnish to your soup so that people can squeeze them over if they want their chili to have more lime zest. Okay, and the last thing to do is to drain our beans, and then we're ready to start cooking. Okay, so we're going to blend about 1 cup of our beans. And these are just cannellini beans. They're just like a white kidney bean. Great Northern beans will work. So we're gonna blend 1 cup of those with about half a cup of our chicken broth. And this is going to help thicken our chili later on. Okay, and we're just gonna set that aside for now. Okay, so I've got a large crock pot or Dutch oven, or just a large pot that you use to make soup. And I'm going to add to it 1 tablespoon of butter. And I always use salted butter. And 1 tablespoon of olive oil. And we're going to let those heat until the butter has melted. And then we're going to add our onions and our jalapenos and saute them until they soften. Okay, so that's melted. And so now we're going to add our onion and the jalapeno. And then we're just going to stir those together for 3 to 5 minutes until the onion has softened and started to turn a little bit translucent. So my onions and jalapenos have softened, which creates a really amazing flavor base for this chili. And then we're just going to add the garlic that I chopped up and saute that for about 30 seconds. It just brings out the flavor. Okay, now we're going to add pretty much all of the rest of the ingredients. Now, I know it looks like a long list. I'll leave a printable link below so you can print out the recipe. But really, it's just dumping all of the spices into the pot to develop a really nice, deep, smoky flavor to our white chicken chili. So we're going to start out with the beans and broth that we pureed. Okay, and then we're going to add the rest of our chicken broth. And I just used water mixed with that better than bouillon paste, whatever, to make my chicken broth because I didn't have any on hand. If you have homemade chicken broth, by all means use that. And then we'll add the rest of our beans. And these beans have been rinsed and drained. And so then I've got 1 cup of frozen corn. You could use canned drained corn. I just like frozen corn better. So adding my frozen corn, and I've got an 8-ounce can of, or 7 or 8-ounce can of diced green chilies. Now we're gonna add our spices. So it's 1.5 teaspoons of ground cumin, or cumin, however you pronounce it. And then half of a teaspoon each of oregano, salt, pepper, and ancho chili powder if you have it, or just regular chili powder if you don't have ancho chili powder. Okay, and then it's 1/4 of a teaspoon, and I'm still just using my teaspoon measurer, but I'm just eyeballing it. It's 1/4 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. You can leave this out if you think it's going to be too spicy. You can add more if you prefer a spicier chili. And then it's also 1/4 teaspoon of smoked paprika, which is one of my very, very favorite ingredients. It adds so much flavor and smokiness. It really makes a difference in this white chicken chili. So if you don't have smoked paprika, you can use regular paprika, but I really recommend going out and buying a jar of smoked paprika to use in your recipes. Don't forget to add the lime juice. Then we're just going to stir this all together and bring it to a simmer. Okay, so once the soup came to a boil, I reduced the heat so it just simmered, and I let it simmer for about 20 minutes. You can go anywhere from like 15 to 30 minutes. Just remember, the longer it simmers, the more the flavors have a chance to develop and meld. But we're gonna turn it off now and remove it from the heat. Okay, so now I've pulled it off the heat, and now we're going to add our cooked chicken. So this is just a rotisserie chicken that I shredded up. It's about 3 cups of shredded chicken, and the heat from the soup is going to heat that up really fast. You could always use like raw chicken breasts and add them when you first start making the soup, and they'll cook while it simmers, and then you can pull them out and shred them. I just think it's so much easier to use a rotisserie chicken. It's one of my favorite uses for it, and it just is an easy hack. Okay, and then we're also going to add a little bit of sour cream, and it's about 1/2 cup of sour cream. And the reason you don't want to add the sour cream until after you remove the soup or the chili from the heat is that it will curdle. So it's just going to make the white chicken chili nice and creamy and give it a richness and like a tang that's super, super good. And so while this was simmering, I worked on getting all of my like garnishes pulled together. One of my favorite things about this soup is that you get to put whatever you want on top of it. We like corn tortilla chips, we do green onions, some sliced jalapenos, Monterey Jack cheese, kind of whatever you want to top it with. And it makes it extra delicious, adds a lot of texture. But the flavor of the white chicken chili itself is just, it's amazing. This is an award-winning soup. I've had people enter this into chili cook-offs, and they respond and comment and email me and tell me that they got first place with it. So it's a really, really good recipe to have on hand, especially if you're doing a chili cook-off. Okay, once that sour cream is mixed in, your soup is ready to go. So I'm just going to grab a bowl. I will ladle a big serving of this white chicken chili. And it just happens to be raining here today. It's drizzly and overcast, and I'm really looking forward to serving this to my family for dinner tonight. Okay, so I'm going to fill that up, and then I like to garnish it with some Monterey Jack cheese and some chopped green onions for a little color. And I love fresh cilantro, and maybe I'll throw a lime on there for a little extra hit, and a couple of slices of jalapenos, and maybe I'll stick a few corn tortilla chips in there. And that's it. My soup is done and it is ready to go. I'm gonna let it cool down for a second before I take a taste. Okay, and now I'm going to try to take a taste of this white chicken chili without burning my mouth. It's still pretty hot. This is so good. The flavor is just really smoky and a little spicy, but not anything you can't handle. With the chilies in it, and the chicken is so tender. And it's just a really, really wonderful soup. I love that you can garnish it any way you like. We eat this all winter long. I hope you guys love my award-winning white chicken chili recipe. If you entered in a cook-off, be sure to let me know in the comments below because I'd love to hear your results. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe to my channel for more great recipes just like this one.